Life Changing Advice, episode 10. This is about changing your thoughts. And the first thing you want to do is start to think about, as you're thinking throughout your day, replace those things that are negative with something positive. It's what I found is that I have sit down and wrote down all these positive images, things that I could think about. I've also wrote down these things that I'm working towards, these goals, these things that I want, these things I want to become, these things that I need to do, the actions I need to take. And I am replacing, when I get something negative, when I want to say something negative, I'm replacing those negative thoughts with something positive. And it is just automatic. And we can't stop the thoughts from coming. We have 70,000 thoughts. Based on research, we have 70,000 thoughts per day, and we want to make sure we can replace as many of those as we can with something positive. So just think about when you think about something negative, replace it with something positive. And you think about how it could change your life. How, if you are not where you want to be, if you're not getting the results that you want to get, if things are not moving, if you're not making progress, the first place I always say is to check your thoughts, because the thoughts lead to words, the actions, all these different things, beliefs, the feelings. So you got to make sure that you're checking your thoughts, and you can easily have a toolbox of positive images, toolbox of positive aspirations, goals, dreams, things that you want, things you want to become. You can have a list of those and images, all kind of positive images. When you got to have some type of repertoire. You got to have some type of toolbox with these things in it, where when a negative thought comes, you immediately replace it with something positive. A negative thought comes, I want to go to Paris. A negative thought comes, I want to go to Hawaii. A negative thought comes, I want to go to whatever. A negative thought comes, it might be I want to be a Nobel Prize winner. No negative thought comes, you have, I want to have a better relationship with God. A negative thought comes, you start praying for somebody who needs prayer. A negative thought comes, you start praying for the person in front of you. They don't even have to know. You're just praying to yourself. A negative thought comes, you replace with something that you're grateful for. A negative thought comes, you might just say, "Thank you, God." Whatever it is, you gotta have something to replace those negative thoughts with. We're gonna have the negative thoughts. We can't get rid of them, but we can replace them immediately with something positive. We don't always have to have a comeback. When somebody says something to us, we got to make sure that we have something positive to say. And the only way to do that is to replace our negative thoughts with something positive. Will we replace all of them? No. We'll probably be exhausted. But as many as we can redirect our focus to something positive, or we can just think about something positive immediately. So we can't think negative and positive at the same time. But it's important. Probably one of the most important things we can do as far as getting in the direction that we want to get to where we want to be is to change our thoughts. And I always say we have an opinion about everything and everybody, but what if our opinion about everybody starts to be positive? What if we see the best in people? We see that they're hurting, that they've got a story to tell, they've got things that they've experienced that we know nothing about. We just have one viewpoint. We just have one little tiny insight. We just have one little tiny thing, and we have ostracized this person. We've made them to be something else. I just think about something that really stands out to me is people who all they do all day long is leave negative reviews, leave negative comments on people's videos. And I'm thinking how sad they must be to want to hurt people who are working hard to create products out of an idea. People who have worked to create a video that they from one idea, and then the nerve of people to leave something negative, to say something negative about somebody who has created something out of nothing. And I always think about, we have to be positive. Can we leave negative reviews? Yes. Can we leave negative comments? Yes. But is it going to help anybody? No. Is it going to be beneficial? No. Because what I found is that people who can come up with one idea out of thin air and create a product or a service, they can come up with thousands of ideas. But I just think how wrong it is and how negative that person's thought process must be to always want to get back at somebody, always want to leave a negative comment, to always want to make somebody look bad. We got to replace our thoughts with something positive. We got to make an effort every single day. Yes, I could talk to the manager. Yes, I could say this negative thing. Yes, I could post this about this person's business. But what good would it do? It's not going to help nothing. It's not going to help anybody. Could I pray? That's probably better. It's probably that I pray, that I take it to God in prayer to help them. If they and they produce a bad product, praying for them they can get better at whatever it is they created, that they can figure out what's wrong with the product. They can figure out how to make it better. If it's customer service, can I pray for this person that they will be nicer, they'll be kinder, that I can be nice to them, overpower them with kindness and love. We don't know what people are going through. We don't know their story. So it's important that we're always thinking about things that are positive, looking at things in the best light, always thinking of putting a positive spin on it, looking at the best in people, seeing their potential, speaking to their potential, speaking life into them instead of always having a negative word. But write your thoughts down, replace your thoughts with something negative. Replace your negative thoughts with something positive. Replace your negative thoughts with something positive every single day as much as you can, and watch how your life will change. This is life-changing advice. I've heard Earl Nightingale talk about this. We become what we think about, and we don't realize how important it is to just focus on our thoughts to see what are we thinking about. Maybe we think we're positive, but when we write our thoughts down, we see all week long we've been negative. And so this is eye-opening exercise. If you just spend time for 1 week just writing down your thoughts, every few hours just writing down what you're thinking about. And then you got to have a toolbox, a repertoire, something that you can pull positive things from every single day to change your life. But replacing your negative thoughts with some positive will change your life.